Hello, good morning. Happy Monday. Um, this doesn't look great. This is supposed to be the scene, which it was before. Asitsu, hello. How are you doing today? I have to unplug and replug it back in. Okay. I thought if I did that before I started the stream, everything would be fine. But no, it decided to lose that because I guess it put the monitor to sleep. Okay, I have to change the sleep settings in the Windows computer. All okay today? Hey, that's good. That's good to hear. All right, so that's still not right. Now you're not getting updates. Maybe that's better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Other things. I got a whisper today. So if you whispered me, or actually I got a whisper last Thursday. If you whispered me last Thursday on Twitch, your you have block whispers on, so I couldn't respond to say hi back. So sorry if I didn't respond, it's because of that, not because I don't care. Okay, so where did we left off? Where did we leave off? We left off today at the we were rewriting the tree.rs file so that we can use this in both places, because we need to use this in a I guess like in the normal tree file that we're creating or reading, then also in the what is it called, it's the part file that we're getting from the pack file that we're getting from GitHub. That's what we need to continue working on. I left this note for myself, which I did remember that I left myself a git log message. So right before stream, I was looking through it. I was like, okay, tells me that we're in tree.rs. I come here. I was like, okay, now I see this message. Left me some notes to get started. And of course, we got some errors in here too, which is helpful. So yeah, we're trying to recreate this as a struct so we can store stuff in here as we're getting it. And I don't remember if we wanted this to be its own function or if something else needed to be in that way. So let's jump into it. Okay, so we need to rewrite the tree parser step method and this loop so we can create here. So this is going to be, okay, from is basically just doing step, right? Oh no, this step here. And this loop so we can create tree objects for every line in the bytes. Currently, each step is trying to get a file name from the line. Okay, right, so we're not getting all the information. I think that's what the problem is that we're getting some information out. Well, actually, the only information we're caring about previously was the name, and now we want everything, which is okay, but clearly a problem, right? Because when we're tree parsing and we're doing step, we return, okay, so like header, we go past that and we return false. Okay, great. We've got the header. Then we're in the mode and we need to get the mode itself, which we get here. Now I'm attempting to set tree object mode, which we're passing in as a mutable tree object, but oh yeah, which is like a single tree object. Okay. And then I also set this to be returning true and false based on, I believe, if we're done or not. If we're like finished with the, like through the entire loop. like all of the lines. Now, if I want to make this work, this would be an okay, false. Return okay, false there. This then sets the mode. We have our tree object. Okay, tree object default. We step, we pass in the tree object. I thought that this returned an option. Doesn't it return a... Oh, this doesn't return an option. With a step in it? Wait, what was I returning before? Oh, self. Oh, but I can't do that because this is a from, because this would need to be a try from, or we need to crash. So if we do self like this, I can't use you. So we just need to expect. This is error. Stepping through. Now this would be parse tree objects. Right. So instead of file names push, we're no longer pushing into file names because we're gathering tree objects. But I suppose this would then be tree objects push. Tree object, which then gets recreated. And then now you want to return file names, but I want to return self. This would be self tree objects. Okay, so tree bound hash default not satisfied. Okay, so I need to go to hash and implement default for this, which that should be a U8 would be zeros. Okay, so an array of zeros. Mismatch types expected enum result bool. Found an enum option. Okay, so oh right. Okay, so this would be if we're done with the file name. So I think all of these would be just false. Checksum. I think then in this case, if it's none, that means we're done. So this is return some true. Oh, it's not some, it's okay. Okay, and that's all of the errors in here. We're not importing that anymore. We do have this unresolved import. Okay, so in ls tree, you were trying to bring in this parse tree from bytes, which now is going to be, we create a tree from bytes. Okay. So tree from the bytes. That gives us the file names tree, and then file names iter for each. Okay, so then oh, but then okay, so it's not, so it's gonna be the tree. Let's actually maybe go into tree and create an impl on this. We could create an impl display for tree that just displays these as files, but I think it might be best to allow us to export just the file names from these. Okay, so if I impl tree, probably just want these to be full strings. And then, okay, so pub function file names, we want to iterate through that vector. So I probably just want to map this, right? And then we'll probably have to clone this to make it a string. That comes out to here, and then we will just collect it into the vec of strings. So, okay, now back to here. I want to take the tree, get the file names, and then from that we can iter again, get this thing and do all the things. Now that being said, I don't really need to take ownership of this. So what if instead of a vec string, this became a vec stir? And then I just don't need to clone this. There, and then that should be perfectly happy. Now you're not being read, which is fine for right now because that will change in the future. We will be reading it. So I'm curious if this still works for ls tree. At least that's what we want it to, right? So let's try. Do I have any? What trees do I have? I have git. It's not a tree object. Do you have any others? Ooh, I feel like maybe I don't have any real ones. Okay, so let's try get right tree. And then we'll do a get ls tree for this thing. Okay, so that works, and we can get out that tree. And so now if I do the same thing here, do a cargo run ls tree that. Oh, right. It wasn't just ls tree. It was like ls tree names only or something. Why are you building forever? Okay, that panicked there. What were you really looking for? Okay, that just passes into ls tree. And then I just ignore you regardless of what this is. I think it was something like name only. So get ls tree. Yeah, dash dash name only. Okay. So for you, what did I just do? Okay, yeah, I deleted a 2. ls tree name only. Okay, panicked at tree line 32. Error stepping through tree, which I mean I suppose shouldn't be that big of a surprise. Yeah, there it is. Error stepping through tree. Cannot parse integer from empty string. Okay. So, but at least we're runnable now. So we can run and test things. Now, what happened here? We do a step. It was cannot parse integer from empty string. Parse integer. My guess is that this is going to be a problem with the mode, because I think that's the thing that's an integer. But what we can do is we can put some, I think okay, so we know we didn't get into this panic. I believe we got here, but we can start putting some like debugs in here to sort of like see where we get. So if I put into like a debug, like we're in the header. So if we do that, okay, there we get a whole bunch of headers, and then it crashes. So that tells me that the problem is probably not in here. But if, for example, we come out here, ending header, there's the ending header, and then we get the next one. Okay. So then we go to mode. So let's, I guess we'll call this looping mode. Let's see how many times this happens. Oh, several times. Okay. Well, that's good to know. This happened what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Now, when we go back up and look at the one that we got from ls tree, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was okay. So there's more than this. Although that's interesting. The next one would be the tree itself. So this might be. I wonder if it's not going to see that as a proper U32 because it has that 0 at the beginning. But there's a way for us to check this. So if we remove U, get our mode, we know we don't get this panic. I don't believe we get to here. The next byte. The next byte is U8. I'm curious if we get in here. Okay. We reached the end of mode, turning into U32. And yeah, let's see if this is our problem. My guess is yes. Reach the end of the mode, okay. And so first off, we get the mode. So this is gonna be cool, right? We can put the mode in there. The mode is, oh, the mode is empty. Well, that's not good. So, that seems to be a problem. Okay, so I immediately start looping in here. And I think that we saw that it did loop through the mode multiple times. So that's a good sign. The next byte, okay, so we get bytes.next. Otherwise we get that. So I'm curious. Do we get this next byte multiple times? We should. Okay, so we do. That's good. And we could probably figure out exactly what these are based upon the bytes. But we'll get back to that in a second. So, okay, so if the next byte, now I'm also curious, what is that? $32. Oh, so the 32 is in, the space is included in this. Okay, so if the next byte is a space, I guess like otherwise we're gonna push the next byte into here, into the mode. That's fine. Okay, so if I debug just the full mode at this point, you're empty. I mean, are you running? I would assume that this should run multiple times. Wait, why did I do that? I want to go down here like that. Yeah, pushing into mode multiple times. Okay. So you're pushing into mode multiple times. So mode.push. Now we're in this loop and oh. Yeah. That would cause a problem. We probably need to put the mode out, like initialize the mode outside of the loop. Just a thought. Just a teeny tiny thought. Okay, so now that I've done that, I bet at least we'll get past the mode. And I bet that we can print this out. So let's debug out the mode. And we'll probably crash somewhere else. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so we got 33188, 420, 420, 420. Okay, so mode 0. All right, so that's good. Well, this seems to be stuck in an infinite loop. Which that Why would that be? All right, well, more debugging. We got past mode, I believe. Although these modes look a little bit weird, don't they? Yeah, so we have 33188. Oh, they're not guaranteed to be the same order that we have here, although I can guess that they probably are. Huh, so we have like 420. Oh, are these no, because like 420 like that together would be 6. That doesn't seem right either. I wonder if these are like in hex or something, or if it's not decimal. But that seems not right. Okay, I want to try. What if I don't take this from a radix, right? Actually, I want to see. Okay, what are you? Before we turn it into a string, if we print that out, are they correct? Oh yeah, they are. Okay. Oh, so the from radix isn't helping here. Okay, so we have the 100644. That's good. We have the interesting. We're missing the 100644 on most of them, except the first one. That's interesting. We have the 0000, which I'm thinking is going to be the directory source. But we have, okay, 755, mostly 644s. Okay. What if I... What if we parse you? And then we'll print you out twice. So we'll print out mode before we parse, and we'll print out mode after we parse. Okay, so the number afterwards, 1064, 644, 644. Okay. That's a lot better. So okay, I think that's where we went wrong. We're okay on the modes now. I think. I'm a little bit confused about that 100 that we get once and then not the other ones. I'm a little bit worried about that. And we're like consistently missing it too after the first one, which makes me think maybe I'm like skipping something, which is a little bit unfortunate. Like maybe this next is happening twice somehow. But okay. But that wouldn't, oh, that might not be in here somewhere. That might be somewhere else. All right, so we're pushing you in here, and now I want to store this in the tree object. So at the end of the loop, oh, tree object mode equals mode. Okay, so we actually are storing it in here. Great. That means I can now at the end of this we create a tree object. We parse through this. Let's, before we push them into the tree, let's debug the tree object. Oh, but tree object doesn't have a debug. Interesting. Tree object, I don't think there's any reason why you can't have a debug. Besides, I just have to now implement it everywhere. That's cool. That is indeed an infinite loop. So, oh, we're never exiting that outer loop, are we? Okay, so let's panic after 1. Just to make sure we don't exit out. Oh yeah, look at that. I've just pushed this in and there's no, this is just an infinite loop. Oh, I am trying to exit out here. But we never get to tree parser done because we're now on a true false system. That's what it is. If you're true, do nothing. Otherwise false, which is not great the way I did this here. Because we have this empty block in the true state. But we can fix that pretty easily. But that means we never, oh, wait. Everything is false. So this can just immediately break. And there's only one level of loop here. So we can just break. I don't even need a label like this. And then you should be happy. But either way, we're still crashing after 1. So that's that didn't crash. That just returned. Did they not save? Yeah, that just runs and is like perfectly fine. What's going on with that? We're breaking early, aren't we? We never get here. Wait, did I do this backwards? Okay, so I'm returning a Boolean. Okay. Oh, okay, false, because we're not done yet. I think I was trying to do it nicely down there and I didn't update this here. So you if you're true, otherwise continue on. Okay. There we go. All right, so our very first object, we have a mode of 0. That's not great. It's a blob. The file name is empty. And the checksum is just the empty the empty array because that's default, right? Okay. I mean, I think the only thing that we've really done here is the mode. And I'm a little bit concerned about that mode being 0. There was one that was 0, so that might be okay. Okay, let's try this. Instead of me debugging and panicking here, let's debug the tree objects. Oh, okay, so we are getting the different modes. So we have mode 0, blob, 10644 blob, multiple zeros. Two, three objects in here? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to return false if we're continuing, if we're not done. Okay, so mode return false. File name return false. Checksum. Let's return false. We're not done. False, but if here, then this becomes true. Luaniki, hello. How are you doing today? Ooh, many more items here. That's much better. Too many items? Hard to tell. Are you doing good? Excellent. I'm doing pretty good. I had to start the stream a little bit late today because I had a meeting for my work, and I have another one at 2:30 today, so we have to start a little bit early. But besides those, everything is great, going great. Waleed, hello. How are you? You're learning how to use in Rust. I mean, so U is a framework that you built, that framework that's written in Rust. So you just basically program U, if that makes any sense. The website for U has a great tutorial to sort of get you very bare bones started. And then if you have to use trunk to get everything going, but it should be fine. How do I get to the level like you where you just randomly can decide I'm going to code the next kit? I would say the number one thing that allows me to do something like that is a growth mindset. And then all growth mindset really means is you recognize that we don't know what we don't know, which is a lot of things, and that we can get there, right? Like we have to accept that we don't know it right now, but we can know it in the future if we apply ourselves, and we like, it's a combination of like work hard and also work really smart at it. And then once you get there, it's like, okay, well, let me try it. And then if you can't do it, note down, well, why did I not be able to do it? Oh, I need to learn this other thing first. Okay, let me go learn that other thing. And then eventually you'll come back to it and it's like, oh, yeah, I can totally do this now. So yeah, that's how to get to that point. I'm still seeing 2 modes with 0, which I don't think is right. 3 modes with 0. It doesn't feel right because I didn't think I had that many zeros. But I do have some of the other ones, which is interesting. I think there's too many of those too. Art Winnin, hello. TLDR, code a lot. I mean, that's a big part of it. Just practice, practice, practice. And good practice too, because there's that entire idea of Not good practice. Okay, well, let's... You try Flutter, React, and now can you suggest... Well, suggest you what? Like what to learn next? Or like, I guess the real question is, why are you, like, why? Which is a surprisingly harder question to answer until you sort of like know it. Like, why learn it? Like, what's your why for your project? But again, why is the project happening? Is it a learning project? Is it a project for work? Is it a project for school? Is it a contract project where you're going to be giving it away and other people are going to support it? Are you going to have to support this in the future? Do you want to support it? Or is it just like sort of learning and fun? Okay, thanks. Good luck with coding. You're friendly. Keep your character. You're going back to learning. Well, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us a little bit. And good luck with the learning. Good questions. Music to my ear. I have to put on my like management / coaching hat, which like to me they're not really all that different. And that's where those come from, right? Because like every single project has different requirements, and many of the requirements aren't technical. They're things like why is this project happening? Because then once you know that, all the other things can now fall into place because you can make decisions based upon what's going to happen to the project later. Okay, so mode. Now I exit here, but I'm a little bit concerned about this mode constantly being like not the right one. Now we parse this out. If we put our debug back here again, and I don't return these, or I don't print out these. This is correct. There's only one 0 mode, so that's a little bit odd. But the type system seems to be fine with me pushing in this. Okay. So that is interesting, isn't it? All right, so I'm creating a tree object. We're parsing through, and oh, that's the other problem. For each step, I'm looping through. Okay, hold on. I can't. Yeah, we might have to rewrite step. Because look at this. I'm doing a loop in here. Okay, I'm doing a loop in all of these things. But I don't know if I'm... Okay, so when I'm done, I need to create a new tree object. I'm creating a new tree object on each loop here, which is not right, because once again, I go through this loop multiple times per row. And I want to create a new... I need to create a new tree object at the end of the row. That's what the problem is. Okay, I'll explain again. Your university final year project is to make a SQL database engine in Rust. You've done SQL compiler and storage side. Now you need client-side app. So tried Flutter, React, and Vue. So it's university. You probably don't need to support this afterwards again. The decisions that I would make If you tried all of them, what will help you get the highest grade in the shortest period of time? Because that's really all we care about, right? Once we're at that point. Personal projects are for learning, but like this is now a project. So this is, think of this as like a work project then. This is less time for learning and more of a time for just application and get it done. So what can you do it in that's fast? Also, is this a group project where it's just you, or a group project where it's team or just you? If it's just you, then it doesn't matter, right? Because you get full control over everything, and you have to live with your own experience, your own choices, but it's also you kind of like know what you're getting into. If nobody else on the team, if it's a team and nobody else on the team knows you, then that would be really bad to choose you, because now you've just made it that you're the only one who can do that, which means more work for you, and that is not ideal. That being said, for front end, all three of those technologies are very good. They all can get the job done. I'm mostly familiar with React and Vue. Only Vue. Okay, great. I'm mostly familiar with React and Vue. I would, if it was me and my skill set right now, I would probably choose Vue, because that's just what I like and what I can do. For you, you're going to have to sort of like look inwards, like how much extra learning do you have to do for each of those? Like figure that out. Like assign a number using like I would say like a Fibonacci sequence starting at 5. So what, like 5, 8, 5, 8, 13, 5, 8, 13, whatever, 21. Starting there, and assign your complexity, your understanding of how complex and like how much work and effort and all that stuff would be to each one of those, and then choose the lowest one. I basically say Fibonacci for that, because when you look at the numbers, it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, well, like, you know, those numbers are so close together, you know, they could be both 2 or whatever. But when they're Fibonacci sequence, you look at the numbers and say like, oh, a 5 and 8, okay, those are not too different. A 5 and 8 and a 13, well, 13 is now much higher than 8 even. And so it becomes a little bit easier to go like, oh, actually, I'm not quite as good at Flutter. I'm a little bit better at React than you. That might be like what we think of. That's how I would do it. Okay. Tree object. Okay. Oh, right. So I need to figure out how to create the tree object in loop, or reset the tree object, or do something else. Now, what I could do is, once we're in here for the break. No, I need this. Okay, so after we push. This is, I don't like this. But it should work. What do you mean it's never read? I'm reassigning it here. Oh, because this is reset. Okay. Oh, right. I need to do this out here. And now we reset you. This is definitely a code smell. But I believe that now we can debug the tree objects, and it should make sense. And we'll keep that other debug in there. I'm still getting multiple mode zeros, which is not, that's not right. Okay, so I think my entire logic idea of the loop is wrong. That can be the only explanation for this, is because I'm looping through and going back to default. That's the only reason I'm getting multiple zeros when I don't want it to be. I need your suggestion because this is near to your house, a software house sponsored my master in computer science and a basic project. Oh, well, you can get something much better than my suggestion. If you go to that software house, that's like, I would get their suggestion. Are they, is this software house potentially going to employ you afterwards? Because if so, I would ask them. They suggested React. I would, if it was me, I would go with what they suggested, because if they're suggesting that and they're helping you through this course, they have a vested interest in you learning those specific skills so that they can then have you use those skills as soon as you graduate. And if you choose a different framework, you face a problem to work with React. Imagine this though. Would you face that problem with React after you graduated? When do you want to start learning a project? Do you want to start learning it when you start working and they're paying for you, or when you're in college and you have a project to work on and you have a lot less, you don't have like a manager who's I don't want to say breathing down your back, but like basically concerned about your speed. I know you're easy in you. I know that you're good at you, but think about the implications of your choice. And think about the future, because you're about to start working where they're going to use React. They suggested React. What do you think they are assuming that you're going to choose as your technology? Will they be happy if they find out that you didn't learn React and now they have to teach you React? Those are important questions to ask. Like, and we have to take a hard look at that, because please suggest best way to learn React in 3 or 4 weeks. Build your project in React. The best thing is you say you're good at U. React, U is based on React. Most of, like 90% of the knowledge about just web development that you got in U should transfer to React. So the standard way you learn anything, really, you build stuff. And you have a project, so you build the project. The best way to build a project is to make sure that it's in like GitHub or Git, like some type of Git, and then constant commits. Like, don't commit at the end of the day, commit way more often than that. Because that way, if you discover, oh, I did something wrong, or like, oh, I need to learn, I need to do it this other way, you can do that really easily by just reverting or taking out a branch to do a feature or something else, and then you merge in when you're done with it. And so if you do that with commits, you're good to go. And everything will be much easier. All right, apparently an ad is starting in around 10 seconds on Twitch. I don't know why. I usually get that notification here in the chat. I didn't today, but sorry about that, everyone on Twitch. So your plan is to make client in React and then send JSON to REST server and after process. Yeah, that's pretty standard. That's a very standard way to do it. And as you mentioned, if it's a very simple app, that shouldn't take that much time. So the other thing is, like, when we're learning a new technology, we don't want to learn the technology before trying to build the application. Just start building the application and then learn when you run into a problem. So as soon as you run into something like, oh, I can't do that, well, now learn that one thing. Learn how to get past that one bottleneck. And as soon as we're done with that bottleneck, we go back to the project again. And that way we don't run into the tutorial hell that we constantly see ourselves getting into. We don't run into over preparing. We just learn exactly what we need to learn when we need to learn it. Can I share my streaming plan? You discuss things. Oh, you could also discuss things on Discord. I have a link to the Discord in YouTube somewhere, on the profile or like on the page profile. I put in one of those like links to Discord, like the actual Discord channel. I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So I'll be online starting at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, and then again on Wednesday. And that's 9:30 Mountain Time. So GMT -7, something like that. Okay, what were we doing here? We were tree object default. We were looking at a rewrite. Okay, so I put this outside of here, but we're still not doing this right, because when I step through it's getting some of the information right. Absolutely, and good luck, and just like do your best to keep calm about everything, because like panicking has never helped anyone cross the line with a project ever. And welcome back, Twitch. All right, so if the loop is the problem, we need to rethink how this works. So if I didn't have any of this code here, what would I want it to look like from this side? Let's actually do that. We don't have the code anymore. It's here. Let's say I want my tree objects. So I want those. So in order to get them, I want to just loop through, grab each. I probably want to loop through each line, right? And I think each line, so I can probably split the bytes based upon a new line. can I map this? So I want to map. No, wait. It's better to map. It's better than map. Can I split? There's no split.